Let's take a look at the weather highlights from 2013 in the Eastern Sierra and Western Nevada. January 2013 was most notable for strong inversions, producing areas of fog and haze in valleys on many days of the month. Air quality was reduced especially early in the month, while wood burning restrictions around the Reno Sparks area were in effect. The top photo was taken on January 8th, which was one of 2 days where wood burning was prohibited. Dense fog returned later in the month, especially between the 17th and the 20th, and the 25th and the 26th. The photo on the bottom left shows Pogonip in Spanish Springs on the morning of the 17th. The photo on the bottom right shows Lake Tahoe covered in fog on the morning of the 25th. Dry conditions led to a significant reduction in snowpack during January of 2013 across all basins, as shown on these maps provided by the National Operational Hydrologic Remote Sensing Center. After above-average snowfall in December of 2012, Northern California and the Sierra Nevada mountains experienced a record dry start to 2013. A storm impacted the Sierra Nevada the last few days of March. However, it did not bring enough precipitation to avoid being the driest January through March on record for Tahoe City. The climatological normal precipitation for the period January 1st through March 31st in Tahoe City is 16.30 inches. The driest January 1st through March 31st on record prior to this year was 1976 with only 3.62 inches of precipitation, while the total precipitation for the same period in 2013 was only 2.68 inches. The precipitation record in Tahoe City goes back over 100 years and is part of the National Weather Service Cooperative Observer Program. Thanks to all of our co-op observers, without which this type of analysis would not be possible. The 5 months of January to May 2013 remained in the bottom 10% of the driest such periods on record, and in some areas along and west of Highway 395, it remains the driest such period. May 2013 was the wettest month in the region, compared to normal, since December 2012, thanks to rainfall at the very end of the month. The low-pressure system that moved through Northern California and Nevada on May 27th brought widespread light showers to the region. The Sierra Crest into the Tahoe Basin had the highest reported amounts in the area, with anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to nearly 1 inch reported. This map shows an analysis of rainfall totals over the area. Although the storm didn't bring significant precipitation to the area, the rainfall did help to offset the persistent dry conditions. In what was the beginning to an active thunderstorm summer, several rounds of thunderstorms affected the Sierra and Western Nevada during the month of June, bringing significant flooding and hail. Slow-moving thunderstorms developed over Western Nevada on June 10th that produced accumulating hail and very heavy rain. Much more substantial flooding was reported along Nevada Highway 447 between Fernley and Gerlach, east of Pyramid Lake. This heavy rain resulted in flash flooding that washed out a portion of Nevada Highway 447, about 31 miles north of Fernley, with up to an estimated 6 feet of water flowing over the highway. An unusual late June atmospheric river event affected the region from the 23rd to the 25th, bringing below normal temperatures and significant precipitation. The bulk of the precipitation, which occurred in June, especially in the Central Sierra, occurred during this event, which dropped nearly 3 inches of precipitation in the higher elevations of the Sierra Nevada and up to a 1/2 inch in extreme western Nevada. July of 2013 started off with the continuation of record high temperatures as a strong ridge of high pressure remained entrenched over the southwestern U.S. Several records were set across the region over the weekend, as shown on the table. The Reno airport hit 105 degrees 4 times this year, which is the most days ever in 1 year it has been greater than or equal to 105 degrees. June 7 also set the record for the earliest 100-degree day reading in the year for Reno. All these record temperatures resulted in July 2013 being both the warmest July on record and the warmest month on record in Reno since 1888. Record temperatures weren't the only story during the month, as we also experienced 2 extremely active periods with thunderstorms producing hail, gusty winds, and flooding rains. Moisture increased each day from the 1st through the 3rd around the western edge of the high pressure, which set the stage for thunderstorms to develop each day from the 1st through the 4th. Lightning from thunderstorms also started the bison fire, which burned just over 24,000 acres in the Pine Nut Mountains from the July 4th through July 14th period. August 2013 saw above-average temperatures over much of the forecast area as high pressure periodically built into the region. Between the periods of high pressure, monsoonal moisture moved north into the forecast area, producing 3 instances of thunderstorms that resulted in strong to severe winds, hail, and heavy rain. By the 8th, moisture had increased enough to allow for heavy rain from the thunderstorms that developed that day. As the storm moved over the Reno-Sparks area, it produced 1.03 inches of rain at the Reno Tahoe International Airport. Of this total, 0.42 inches fell in just 20 minutes. While no significant flooding was reported with this storm, there were numerous reports of minor street flooding in the Reno-Sparks metropolitan area. The American and Rim fires, which both started in early August, created recurring visibility and air quality problems through much of August into early September. Dense smoke advisories were issued for portions of Alpine, Mono, and Douglas counties due to thick smoke from visibilities less than 1 mile. The American fire was contained on August 29th and burned around 27,000 acres, while the Rim fire grew to over 257,000 acres and was finally contained in late September. The first few days of September 2013 saw a continuation of the smoke from the Rim fire near Yosemite National Park over the eastern Sierra and western Nevada. However, progress on the fire allowed smoke to decrease and resulted in improved air quality. Thunderstorms affected the Sierra and western Nevada off and on through the first portion of the month, with reports of heavy rain, flooding, and mudslides. Low pressure off the west coast pulled subtropical moisture into Northern California early in September, and rain developed across Northern California on September 2nd. Few thunderstorms developed, but persistent moist onshore flow produced rain for much of the day. Heavy rain was reported by numerous automated sensors and spotters in Plumas and Lassen counties in northeast California, with the heaviest rain at Plumas-Eureka State Park, where 2.82 inches of rain was recorded. By mid-September, quiet weather ended once again with another round of thunderstorms impacting the region. Thunderstorms with heavy rain on September 13th resulted in this debris flow east of the Bison Fire burn scar, as shown here. A cold front moved through the region on September 20th and 21st, bringing the first snow to the region with 2 to 3 inches of slushy accumulations on Interstate 80 at Donner Summit and U.S. Highway 50 at Echo Summit. October 2013 was relatively quiet, with only a few systems moving through the Sierra and western Nevada. Although precipitation was largely below average across the region, a late October storm brought snowfall to the area. Only 0.06 inches of precipitation fell at Reno and brought the calendar year rainfall total at the airport to 3.12 inches, which is still 2.45 inches below normal. On November 18th, a few storms pushed into the Sierra and western Nevada and produced rain and high elevation snow. Snowfall amounts ranged from around 3 inches at Mount Rose Ski Resort to 11 inches reported at 9,000 feet at Mammoth Mountain, and even some snow in western Nevada as well. Flow around a low and a strong surface high brought very strong east winds to the northern Sierra. East winds between 100 and 129 miles per hour were noted on Ward Peak west of Lake Tahoe, with steady winds between 25 and 45 miles per hour on Lake Tahoe, which created large waves on the west shore of the lake. December 2013 featured below normal precipitation for much of the eastern Sierra and western Nevada, along with below normal temperatures for the lower valleys. The first system on December 2nd and 3rd was similar to an inside slider, so snowfall in the Tahoe Basin was generally lower than amounts in western Nevada. A strong band of precipitation and extremely low snow levels resulted in mostly snow across western Nevada, with numerous reports of 4 to 8 inches across Reno and the North Valleys, as well as near Carson City. The next very cold low-pressure system on December 6th and 7th brought another round of snow to the Nevada valleys. Although these two storms earlier in the month brought some snow to the area, a stubborn ridge developed across the west for the rest of the month, bringing record dry conditions to some areas. The green line on the graph shows the 2013 precipitation total for the Reno airport, while the brown line indicates the normal precipitation for a calendar year. The Reno airport finished 2013 with 4.02 inches of precipitation, which is 3.38 inches below normal, making 2013 tied for the 8th driest year on record. Over half of the yearly total fell on August 8th, May 7th, and November 20th. The highest daily total of 1.03 inches occurred on August 8th, where 0.90 inches fell in 42 minutes from a heavy thunderstorm. Precipitation records in Reno date back to the 1870s, while observations at the airport began in 1937. Here is a similar graph for Tahoe City. The graph shows precipitation totals at Tahoe City for 2013, which is the green line, and for 1976, which is the red line, which was the previous driest year on record. 8.08 inches was recorded during 2013, which makes it the driest calendar year on record for Tahoe City. The average yearly precipitation total in Tahoe City is 31.55 inches. The previous driest year on record was 1976, where 9.34 inches of precipitation was measured. Precipitation records at Tahoe City date back to 1910. After 35 years of exemplary public service in hydrology, Gary Barbato retired from the National Weather Service on December 3, 2013. Gary served at the National Weather Service Forecast Office in Reno as service hydrologist since 1993, where he was responsible for Nevada and the eastern Sierra Nevada mountain range. He became senior service hydrologist at Reno in 2000. Prior to coming to Reno, he also served as service hydrologist in National Weather Service offices in Northern California, South Dakota, and Wyoming. While Gary's expertise will be sorely missed in the National Weather Service, we wish him all the best for his new adventures in retirement. Thank you for viewing our year-end summary, and have a very happy New Year.